Hi, y'all, I'm Hannah.
Hi, I'm Pam. Hi, I'm Ann.
Hi, I'm Marie, and we are coming to you live from Austin, Texas, because it's
Happy Woolly Wednesday!
Hey, everybody, happy Wednesday and happy spring. It's kind of gloomy here today, but we have sunshine in our hearts. we had torrential rainstorms last night and lightning on the ground, and all of Austin barely slept, but we're feeling springy nonetheless, and we're so glad you're with us today. And the girls will just take a breath of fresh air. Everyone's been working so hard. We're so glad to see you, and we hope to have a very fun, full session with you today. So thanks for being here, y'all. Hi everyone, I am Marie. We are Living Felt Felting Supplies here in Austin, Texas. And if you are watching our live broadcast for the first time, say hi and tell us where you're from. You are welcome to also tell us what the weather is like there, or maybe what you're felting right now. If you are watching this broadcast after on Facebook, you're welcome to join in the conversation, post questions, post comments. If you have a question though, tag somebody. My name is Marie Spalding, or you can tag another person in the conversation. If you're on YouTube watching after the live broadcast, just post your question and we'll get back to it. We like this to be a very interactive session, and today our theme is on the wings of spring. So we're going to talk about your fiber studio, keeping it clean or getting it refreshed and revived for the year. And we have some fun little things we're going to look at. So the first thing I'm going to do is just say hi to some folks. Who do we have, Ann?
We have Becky Kowalczyk, Maria Cohen, Renee Gatewood, Lynn in North Carolina. We have a lot of those.
Nice. Welcome, folks. So glad to have you. And I just lost my place. I was right there with everybody. So I'm going to refresh so that I can see you and just let a few people check in. There we are. Very good. Very good. Okay, good. It's so great to have you all here. I'm going to say hi to a few people. There is Ann. She says she has snow. And there's Sharon commenting on the sun. The sun is a very important part of our lives, and we're going to even talk about it as it relates to our spring cleaning. So thanks to Ann for making us our sun today. Bright, happy, and very, very warm. There's Pat. Hi, Pat in Vermont. Lovely. And Becky. Becky says it looks like a spring crown. How fun. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Miles. We haven't said hi to you in a while, little buddy. Hope you're doing good. Nice to see everybody, and happy spring to y'all. So listen, to kick it off today, first thing I want to do is super quick shout out and show off my dragonfly necklace. Can you guys see that? This is a little felted higher, they say. This is a little felted dragon. Can you see it in the cameras? A felted dragonfly necklace made for me by Joanne Straticos, who knows that I love dragonflies. And so I'm wearing that today. You probably can't see it, but I'll post a picture online later. We have some quick questions from the community. This session is always supported by questions and requests from you all. And first to kick it off is Hannah to answer a question.
Hi, y'all. How are you doing? Happy spring. So I got a question from Heather Douglas. She was hoping to see some of our yak fibers. So this first one I'm going to show is going to be our yak 50/50 silk blend. It's absolutely gorgeous. The sheen, shiny, and super soft. It's very pretty. And then we also have our just regular natural brown yak roving, which is also very soft to the skin. I believe we have an 18 micron count on both these guys. So there's those.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you.
Hi, y'all. This one's for Paola Orts. She came to visit us last month and brought us some beautiful hearts of protection, which I love. Thank you. Her question was how to separate one hanky. Now this is a little tough, but you got this. It just takes some care and some, you know, a little bit. Let's see. Can you see that good? All right. So on these hankies, they have an edge to them that you can see it's a little thicker. And what you do is you're going to need to use a little bit of force. You find the two and you separate them, and then what you would do is pull with the quickness. So I hope that helps. And sometimes you'll get 2, sometimes you'll get 3,
Let's
you know.
stretch. Let's stretch it
And
out.
then we can stretch it. All right.
So you can stretch it over your work.
Yeah. Look at that. And it'll keep stretching and stretching.
And we learned this from Kate Kaprowski.
Yeah.
I'd never stretched it so far before. Thank you.
All right,
Okay, here we have a lovely collection of some bright, fun oranges. Patty Palazzi Burry wanted to see everything orange, so we just pulled together all of our orange fiber. We're gonna start right up top here. We're gonna start with the oranges that we have in the merino top. This one right here is marigold. This is citrus. This is zinnia, and this is pumpkin. This is our brand new short fiber merino bats in zinnia. This right here is our 19.5 micron pre-felt in burnt orange. This is the pre-felt in carrot. Right here we've got our lovely MC1 batting in orange cream. Here's our batting in mandarin. This right here is our 100% wool felt sheet in orange. Right here we've got our bamboo top and pumpkin. Right here is our bamboo top and citrus. These are our pumpkin silk hankies. And right here's our pumpkin wool neps. Here's the citrus tussa silk, the burnt orange silk hankies, and the burnt orange neps. Once again, oh, and I left one out. I just see it now. Right here is our merino silk blend mango. It's a lovely variegated color. Got some oranges and some yellows. Alrighty, so here is our lovely bundle of oranges. Do we have any questions?
In this segment, we want to talk about spring cleaning, and there are a few different ways we're going to address spring cleaning. One of the first things we want to talk about is cleaning your fiber area and your fiber spaces. It's so important as fiber artists that you protect your stash. So we'll talk about storing your stash in a few minutes, but first let's talk about cleaning your stash. Most of us have been indoors all winter, kind of nesting and being still. Now the sun is starting to come out, the birds are starting to come out, and so are the bugs and the critters and the dust and the pollen. And some of the critters that you want to keep out of your stash happen to like pollen, and some of the critters you want to keep out of your stash are going to be hatching right about now. So what we want to encourage is that everyone get into your fiber studio, up on your shelves, into your drawers, under your furniture, whether you have a dresser shoved in the closet or a closet filled full of your stash, in the baseboards of your fiber studio or living room or den or whatever that is, and do a really good cleaning. And that means firstly vacuuming. Vacuum, 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 because that will get rid of any critter, eggs, hopefully, or larvae that might be in there. And really what you're concerned about are carpet beetles and moths. So you really want to clean your fiber studio now. And they say to clean drawers like every 6 months or so. At least once a year you want to get up all the dust, because some of these critters, especially like carpet beetles, what they like to eat is, you know, the skin. That seems gross, but that like we're shedding and your dog is shedding, or stuff that falls on the floor, all that old stuff is food for them. So really good vacuuming is really important, especially under things and in corners. And that's why we brought out our cleaning bucket and our cleaning gloves. And I wanted to show you a cleaner that we really like here at Living Felt. And it says that it's a bathroom cleaner, but we use it as a general purpose cleaner. Of course, I have no benefit, of showing you this product. But what we like about it is that it has lavender and lime extracts and smells just like they use essential oil of lavender in it. It's not inexpensive, but it's really good. It's good for you. It's good for the humans in your house. It's good for the critters in your house. And it's also a natural deterrent for those critters that you don't want in your wool stash. So the lavender is built right in. So this is called BioClean. It is advertised as a bathroom cleaner. We do use it as a general purpose cleaner, but I buy mine at Whole Foods. So maybe you can find it on Amazon. Is they're feeling buggy now? Yeah, so clean, vacuum and clean. And when you clean, I cannot overemphasize this enough. You need to have your personal magnifying glass out, and in the corners of your closets, especially of your fiber studio, but anywhere in your house, or the corners of the door jambs, that's where you want to really wipe and spray and get super clean. You'll feel so much better for it. So clean and vacuum your fiber area. But then I also want to talk about cleaning your wool and felted items. Do I need to pause yet, Anne? We doing good? Okay, Anne says we're doing good. I want to talk about cleaning we always get questions about cleaning your felted items. And you'll know that we now sell Beyond Clean. I've been talking about it for years beyond carrying it. We just carry it out of convenience. You're welcome to get it from us, buy it from anybody. You can buy directly from Unicorn. But there are 3 different products that we carry, and they are in the Beyond line. So I'm going to show those to you and talk about them a little bit. Someone did ask me to review these. Who was it? I don't know. The Beyond Clean is really, first of all, let me tell you, the Beyond line is unscented. You'll notice a tiny bit of scent, but me, who's a super sensitive person, I think it's just the natural, soaps that are in it. This doesn't bother me, my skin, my nose at all. The Beyond line is unscented, and that's why we carry it. So you're welcome to add your own lavender to it if you want. The Beyond Clean is really a scour. So if you have something you want to get stains out of, whether that's raw fiber, this is what we wash our raw fiber with, or I don't know, other items that are very soiled, you could use the Beyond Clean. We use it as a fiber scour. And what's important about that, and what I think you'll find interesting, is that its pH is between 7 and 7.5, which is perfect for wool. Most scours can get up to 10 and 11, so which requires you to then do a vinegar rinse after. And with this, you don't even have to, because it's already the perfect pH for your fibers. So Beyond Clean is really for a scour, but what's nice is that they work at lower temperatures, like the 135, 150, I think. If you want to wash your felted items, your felted wearables, your felted hats, your felted purse, maybe a felted table runner, you can use this right here. Oh, I'm holding it down. I got the one backwards. You could use the Beyond Fiber Wash. So if you want to recommend something for your clients or use for yourself of something that you would hand wash, go with the Fiber Wash. I know there was something I wanted to tell you about it. I guess that's it. This is definitely a wool wash. So it's great for knits, it's great for washing yarn, it's great for washing your felted items.
Linda Reeder wants to know, will this work on wool rugs?
Yeah, you could use it on wool rugs, but because of the way it's applied, like with this, I would say normally a wool rug you would wash with a like a machine cleaner, right? Like a machine cleaner. Like we use a machine cleaner, and there are products out there that are safe on wool, and I would say test it for color fastness, but this is so soapy, I don't know whether I would recommend it in your machine. And I'll talk to the manufacturers. At my house we use the same stuff we use here. What's it called again, Anne? It begins with an F. We're gonna look at it. It was what we use at home to clean our rugs, because I have lots of wool rugs at home. I forget the name. Folex. Folex. F-O-L-E-X. That's what we use in our carpet cleaner at home, and I have lots of wool rugs, and it's really safe. So Beyond Fiber Wash is for your felted items or your knit items. And then Beyond Soft is a rinse. So You could use this on fiber. People use it for, like, if they're blocking something, it really is going to smooth down the fibers and help it be soft again. It's really great for an anti-static. So, I mean, normally something like wool is kind of anti-static anyway, but if you have other fibers that tend to be staticky, then you could use this as well. These are the 3 products, and I just wanted to recommend that you consider cleaning your wool rugs and your felted items this time of year. So the things you can't hand wash this way. If you can steam clean your carpets, now's a great time. And the other thing you can do is use the sun. So take your items outside. Remember, like the olden days when we would see someone hanging a rug over a wire or over a pole and then beating it with this big hoop? They're beating out all that dust and the critters or whatever is in there, but the sun also helps kill like the critter eggs. They can't handle the cold. You hear sometimes if something is infested to put it in the freezer, and some of those larvae are said to be able to survive. I don't know for sure. And then the sun is said to be one of the best things because they can't handle the heat. So if you live in a hot place, if you can take your felted items outside and beat them and shake them clean, that's a great thing to do. Anne.
Terry Troop wants to know where we get the lavender bathroom spray.
I buy mine, Terry, I buy mine at Whole Foods, but you might check Amazon, and if I can find that link, I'll produce a link later, but it's called BioClean with a K. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon sells it. Let's see if they have a website. BioCleanHome.com, BIOKLEEN home.com. And no materials listed as hazardous. Contains no chlorine, no ammonia, no butyl, no ether, no SLS, and all these other things that I don't even know what they are. But I love it. If Whole Foods sells it, they've usually done their homework for us.
And
Yes.
Terry also would like to know, what would you use to clean a 3D doll or something like that?
Yeah, 3D, usually if your items, so the question is about cleaning a 3D doll or maybe even a wall hanging, which I wanted to address. You can set them out in the sun, but you might want to not leave them out there for a whole day because colors can shift in the sun. So if you're worried about a color shift, you might consider that. But at my house, everything gets feather dusted all the time. So wall hangings, sculptures, they always get feather dusted. If someone wants to vacuum something, like if you have a wall hanging you want to vacuum, use your dust buster or your other vacuum head, but put like a pantyhose over the face of it so that it doesn't suck up what's on your wall hanging. So dust buster, shake, sun, vacuum when you can. That's what I recommend. And it's now's the time really to get all that dust and stuff clear, and you're just gonna feel so much better for it. Okay, any other questions on cleaning your felted items?
Yes.
Mhm.
Sheree Davidson wants to know, will Beyond Soft help tame frizzies and overhandled locks?
Yeah, definitely try the Beyond Soft. Now, if your locks are overhandled and you want to, but you still have some lock structure that you can get a hold of them, grab the cut end. Do I have anything here? Let's see what I have. So just here's some mohair. If you have locks that you kind of want to tame, these locks have been in a bag forever and they're all kind of crazy. If you want to see what you can do about reorganizing them, grab the cut end, which is this blunt end, and this is the natural tapered end. Grab the cut end, and if you want to wet them, dip them in the solution. Dip them like this and then lay them to dry. And they're gonna look flatter, they're gonna look less curly than you want at first. Just let them dry fully and don't handle them too much. You can turn them over, definitely let them dry. Like, don't dry them on a towel, dry them on a mesh grid or in a colander or somewhere where they can get air on all sides. So you can dip, and yes, that will definitely help tame and helps close the lock, if you will. Also does a vinegar rinse. A vinegar rinse helps close the scales on a fiber, and that's one of the things that helps it seem more shiny and less frizzy. Good. Now we'll want to talk about your fiber storage, and I brought a few things. As we have more people with us now, everyone's doing good. Okay, we want to talk about your fiber storage, and here's my top reasons. I thought, well, you know, what's the reason? Like, it's real easy not to clean our fiber storage. It's real easy not to get organized, and I have a few craft spaces that I really need to get organized, but you know, Paola Orts had asked for ideas on having inventory. And one of the best reasons for cleaning our fiber stashes is so we can see what we have. And if we have an idea of what we want to make, then we can see what we need. And then if we clean our fiber areas, we can make room for what we want. So if you get rid of some of the stuff you don't need, or get rid of some of the things that are taking up space, you can make room for the things that you do want. So we want to talk a little bit about organizing and destashing. And one of the first things I'm going to do is just show you my fiber bins. And I want to say, like, get over the idea of Pinterest perfect or Pinterest pretty. My fiber storage is not very glamorous, but it should work for how you work. I've tried like the Pinterest pretty way, and what I found is the way I work, it doesn't hold up. So let me show you a few things, and then we're going to suggest a few ways to destash. We doing okay? Okay, so these are two of my bins. This is my Merino Top monochrome bin, and this is my MC1. Do I bring these up? This is my MC1 bin. These are the size bins that I keep my fiber in because they fit in the top of my closet. In my studio, I have a super long closet, and there's a top shelf, and all these live up there. I would rather these were drawers that I could magically pull out, but down on the floor are huge bins of silks, locks, bling, pre-felts, all kinds of stuff. So these live up there, and one of the things I did today was bring in my bins and just evaluate what I have and think about what I need. So like I said, it's not glamorous, but this is an example of my Merino Top bin. Now some of these fibers I have whole pounds of at home in a bag. If I have a whole pound, I'll keep it in a bag. And then these are like the littler pieces. When you have something like I have two whites, if they're a different micron, you might keep that different micron in its own bag so you don't get them confused. Sometimes you get different batches, like a different lot is a slightly different color. You might want to segment them. But I also suggest that you might want to segment your pure whites and your pure blacks, or anything that you don't want to get mixed in together. So this is just an example of my Merino Top bin. And my MC1 bin looks a lot like that. The same thing. When I have big amounts of colors that I really like to use, then I have larger amounts of those. I have lots of shelves in my studio where I keep those. But I often find that, especially if whether I'm wet felting or needle felting, I tend to grab what I need. So when I'm wet felting, I'll make a tray of colors and textures and felt from that. Are we good, Anne?
We have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Let's see, Jan Lynn wants to know what kind of bag, Ziploc or twist tie?
Oh yeah, I'm a zipper all the way. Like, I would much rather have a slidey zip than these. Like, I'll use what I have. See, here's an example. Here's a Ziploc, and I think slide locks work much better. So slide locks are ideal, and in my studio I keep the bags. Like, you know what? I hope that you are becoming, I want to say, as good enough to yourself that you start to keep the tools and supplies you need where you need them. And like, you don't have to go to the kitchen every time you need Ziploc bags or whatever. Get yourself the supplies you need and have them in your studio, because then you're more likely to use them. And what I do when I felt very often is, like, I'll make a little selection of all the things that I'm needle felting with, and I'll make a little bag of that. Yeah, Anne.
And Diana wants to know, keeping fibers safe and keeping fibers sealed in Ziploc zip top bags is safe for the fibers?
Yes, it's safe for the fibers. It absolutely is. All these fibers have been carded and run through the ringer as far as like how they're handled. And this is going to be the safest way to keep critters out of them. Just the other day, someone was asking us about moths and such. So know that we encourage you to have lavender. Here's a jar of fresh lavender. We have lots of fresh lavender here, and we have lavender sachets, which I didn't bring in. You can buy bulk from us, or you can buy sachets, or use lavender oil also. Lavender and cedar will be a repellent, if you will, but it doesn't kill a bug problem. So keeping your stuff airtight keeps the critters out of it. And really, I learned this by reading so many horror yarn stash stories. So many women I knew that just lost a yarn stash from some kind of infestation because they let stuff get out of their sight and out of sight, out of mind, and then come to find a mess. And for me, my very first fiber studio was an outbuilding, and I had stuff become apartments for little critters with four legs. So they'll get in your fiber. The only other thing I wanted to point out is that if you make your own blends, like this is a black and a dark brown blend that I hand carded, I just put them in their own bag and just mark them. So these bins, one, are super convenient because you can pull down the family you need and pull from them, but also you can tuck everything away airtight. Now, it's amazing how much time we can go through, huh? I want to talk about the bling though, because this is easy. I separate by color, by fiber type, and then by color family. If you have the room for that, great. If you don't, it could all just be in a larger tub. But when it comes to bling, I separate only by color family. And bling, I mean any luster fibers, non-locks. I keep locks separate right now only because I have so many. So when it comes to bling, here's an example of a blue bling. I went shopping today because I realized that I have no blue bling in my studio, hardly any blue bling, and I have some blue ideas. So I went shopping today, and these are a selection of my blue bling. What I'm gonna do is take all of these gorgeous blue fibers and put them in some larger bag. Now for years we've had these great vinyl bags that resemble what you get when you buy a pillow or a blanket or or throw or something. So they're like one of my home accessories bags. We're not able to get the same size we used to get, but now we have these awesome drawstring bags. So I'm going to take all of this blue bling and whatever else I do have at home is going to go in this one bag. You might be even more particular and separate the turquoises from the other blues. I use all my blues together. All of these are going to go together, and then they live in a great big tub with all my other bling. So that's what I'll do with that. So that way I can pull this out and build my color texture palette from it. If your stash is smaller, like our classroom bling bin is this little guy right here. Like I say, it's not very glamorous, but here's the deal. You know what is what. If you buy from us, you know what is what because we label everything with the color and the type. If you buy from someone else and they don't do that, you can do it for yourself and mark it. So this is our class bling blend and bling bin. We just pull it out and everybody gets to pull from it, but everything pretty much stays in its packet, right? So we know what we need to replace. And so to answer Paula, I would say the best way to know how to have inventory is to be able to see it visually at a glance. And separating and segmenting your stuff can really, really help.
Diana wants to know, what is the best way to store unprocessed fiber?
Oh,
is it
okay.
okay to store them in bags, or do they need to be open?
Yeah, okay, so unprocessed dirty fiber. The first thing is, if you get that from someone else, segment it from the rest of your stuff, and I would say keep it airtight until you wash it. You don't want to open it up and expose your studio or any of your other fibers to other people's unprocessed stuff. The one time I swear I had an issue, I know it was because of fibers that I bought from somebody else. And I've heard the same thing. Some people sequester those fibers until they wash them. So I would say just keep them closed. You're not about to send them to be juried. Some jurors hate that the fiber was, compressed because they feel like it, restricts the fiber. You're going to be washing it, dyeing it, whatever, carding it, keep it closed until you go to wash it. And then if you don't wash the whole fleece, close that up, because you want to scour out anything that might be in there. Yeah, that's my recommendation.
And going back to kind of cleaning and storing projects,
Okay.
Anne wants to know, what about wall hangings and pictures that aren't framed? After dusting them, would you put maybe a little essential oil on them or a sachet behind them?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I've never done that. I've never put essential oils on my wall hangings. I would just say keep your eye on them and pay attention to them. Sorry, I have something in my own eye. Keep your eye on them and pay attention to them. I don't lavender mine, and I don't have munch holes in mine. The only thing that's ever seemed to really be a problem for me is silverfish will eat your fiber. And where I live, there tend to be silverfish. So when I've put something in the garage, then I've gotten a silverfish, munch hole. So I would say as long as you're keeping it clean, you really shouldn't have a problem. But pay attention. If you're not cleaning regularly, then you might try a lavender on the wall behind. But essential oils are volatile, so they will evaporate. So other than that, you might try fresh lavender.
And how long would a lavender sachet genuinely last?
I would say, the buds are amazing in how long they last. I have had sachets for years, and all you got to do to revive them is squish them. Just squish them right in the bag, and they're going to dispel their oils. So you can keep them for a long time. If you squish them and they don't smell anymore, then it's time to replace them. But otherwise, they last a long, long time. Cool. Okay, let's see. Did I answer everything on the wool stash? Oh, I do. I wanted to suggest, I know this topic comes up every year and we really love to suggest it. So one thing is, if you're destashing your craft space, whether it's other crafts to make more room for felting, or you want to clean out some of your felting stuff that's no longer serving you, find a nonprofit or find a school that needs the supplies. We always donate to schools every year, and the school system, at least here in Texas, their budget is like, what did we find out last year, Anne? It was less than $1 a kid or less than $2 a kid for the entire year for all of their supplies. So public schools really need it, and it's a great way to destash craft supplies if you can. You might have a guild, and our guild, often a member of the guild needs supplies for one of the kids in their family. It's a great avenue to give directly. And another thing is the birdie fluff. So this comes up every year, and we like to make little gifts for the birds, and this of course is just a suet feeder. I think the suet is probably worse for the birds. Birds will use everything in their nests. You'll find cigarette butts, you'll find bubble wrap, you'll find trash, whatever. So this is a suet feeder we just got at the grocery store, and we collect our little fiber bits all year long in jars. You can use these as stuffing in a project. You can use them as core. Someone posted a fabulous piece that they used all their little bits and pieces. I don't even remember what it was. It was amazing. But you might consider putting out fiber for the birds. We have a few different ways of doing this, but this is a quick and easy way. And it's so fun when you see like a nest or some evidence that they've used your fiber in their nest. The question comes up about yarn and fabric. We've read on the Audubon Society and the World Wildlife Federation to use small yarns, but we hear that bird rescue places are saying that yarns are a problem. So in this case, we've made our basket without any yarns this year. Okay, any questions, Anne? Anything come up? Does anybody else do this? Do y'all put out fiber for the, we find Black Angus hair. Yep.
Christy Powell says that she loves to make those.
There are so many ways to put out fiber for the birds. So would y'all post pictures this year if you put something out in your garden? Or one year, one of our staff member and her son tied them to the trellis right off their porch. We've hung like chicken wire down. There's so many ways you can put out fiber. Like I made gifts for my neighbors with little chicken wire baskets so that they had them too. So we'd love to see pictures if you guys put out fiber this year for the birds.
Debbie asks, is there a length we should stay away from for the fabric for the bird. She said she read once that yarn had to be shorter.
But yeah, for the fabric, I would do the same thing. Like if you're going to put out fabric strips, stay thin and narrow, and I mean maybe go for like 4 inches instead of 6 inches. That was the recommended length, was 4, but I'd say 6. Maybe go down to 4, because I guess there's concern if their feet the little bird's feet getting caught in it or something like that. But look, mama birds use all kinds of stuff in their nest. They'll grab it, so I think they pretty much know what to do. What do you got, Anne? You were going to say something.
There might have been a typo. She shared later in the comment that length may not apply to fiber, but she just wanted to make sure. So is there a certain length that you would recommend for fiber?
No, the fiber can be little tufts, because if you pack it, then the little birds will pluck it. Some birds like only the white fiber. What drew me to this was I read about a study in Hawaii. There was a study in Hawaii that found where there are animals with wool, birds tend to put the wool in their nests. So I hope they'll take it. They'll take it if it's useful for them, and not if they won't. So not all birds will take it. Not all birds nest the same way. Okay, so we want to talk about, in this last segment, we want to talk about just some springy things. And one of those things were wings. And I think was it last time that we made the wings together? We made some little wings with our new Angelina film that we just got in. And so I tasked Hannah, who's a beater. It's one of her things she does. She paints furniture in her spare time, and she makes jewelry in her spare time. And I tasked her with making us some wings based on our PDF. Some of you may have seen this. So we have a little PDF available online. It's called the Fantasy Wings Collection. I had all of these wings made for us so that we could use them as inspiration. You could use any size wings you want. You can follow the pattern, or you can follow the pattern, or you can expand them or shrink them. So what we have is one set of wings per page, so that then you could shrink or expand them, or print them larger or print them smaller, whatever. Here's some examples. They're mostly butterfly type wings. There's dragonfly wings. There's some batty wings, some very fantasy frilly wings. And are you going to post a link to that? Anne posted a link to that. So there are 15 different sets of wings in this PDF. And then these are the wings. I had Hannah make a couple of wings. And this is a pair of the wings this is one pair of the wings we made today as a group. It was a group project. And is this on? Okay, we made this today as a group project. Oh, and do you remember, I didn't write down what these were. This is fuchsia and
Sugar plum.
Sugar plum. This one is sugar plum. If y'all can see that.
Sugar
and this
plum
one
and
is
watermelon.
Watermelon. Sugar plum and watermelon. And so these are big, but we wanted to show them off. Let me see if I can show these. These ones we made like a double wing, and this is Blue Flash Angelina, and this one is Mint Sparkle. Yeah, it looks like blue almost. Mint Sparkle. Aren't these fun? So you can make them big or you can make them little. It was funny, the first comment on my YouTube video of Ona, or the wings, was, her wings should be bigger. Like, okay, well, these are big wings. If you're looking for big wings, these are pretty big. And she even made some more. So you can make them small or you can make them big. We made them just like we did on the video, and we have a free video on YouTube for making these wings. And just for fun, Hannah went way big. She had lots of fun with these, but she just used the wire, that we had in house. So you can make some pretty fun wings, whether you make them big or little. You can use beading wire or the kind of wire. We just use the wire that we sell. You could even make wings, I don't know, the Mylar is small, so you can only get so big. But we did use 2 sides of Mylar, or the Angelina film, to make our wings. A double, it is on both sides of the wire, I'm trying to say. Are there any questions on those?
Let's see. Diane had a question. She says, are those from the Angelina film or the Angelina fiber?
Yeah, these are made with the Angelina film, which comes off, I didn't even bring any in, Ann. But this is the film. It comes on a little roll. It's 4 inches wide by 5 feet long. That's how the Angelina film comes. You gonna bring a sample? Yeah, just grab one of those. 4 inches wide by 5 feet long, and then we put it on both sides. Some people, when they make their wings, they only put the film on one side and then glue the wire to it, but we just sandwiched the wire in between. And we did all of these wings today with a heat gun. We didn't use the candle at all. If some of y'all saw that last week or saw our YouTube video, we used a candle also, but these have wire all around the perimeter, and that's what makes them different than the first wings we did. Thank you. This one is the
Peacock.
Oh, this is Peacock. So I'll hold it up. This is how it comes, is on a roll, and you can see that it changes color in the light. You can see the blues and the greens. And do you have our finished sample, Anne? What's interesting about Peacock is once you heat Peacock, it actually looks a little more like Forest Blaze does. Forest Blaze looks as a little more brown and green and gold. So the Peacock, once it melts, goes more towards the brown, and the Forest Blaze goes more towards the purple. It's fun. They're fun to play with and see how they go. Okay, any questions on that?
We do have quite a few questions.
Okay.
Kelly asks, are there any dragonfly wings in the templates?
There is one set of dragonfly wings in the template, yes, because dragonflies are kind of my thing. And there is, so you can resize those. You can resize those to whatever size you want. Dragonfly wings and bat wings and a pair of demon wings. Happy demon wings, how about that? Frilly butterfly wings. Nothing too sinister, I promise. What else? Any other questions?
We do. Ailsa asks, could you sandwich roping between the Angelina to
Wow.
make the wings more dense?
Oh, that's really interesting. I have not tried it, but since you can have the wire in there, I don't see why not. If you have the wire in there, I don't see why you can't put roving in between. That's interesting.
Sue asks, would a hot hair dryer work?
I have seen people use their hairdryer, so you can try it. We do like the heat gun that we've been using. We found that we liked it on low, so maybe your hairdryer on super blast and hot will work. I have no idea what those temperatures are. I really don't. Okay.
And let's see.
Someone, go ahead.
Pam was asking about the colors that we used on the wings one more time.
Which wings? These ones, the ones we just showed? Okay, these ones right here. This is the blue flash. You can see it shows almost clear, and if we move them in the light, we can see a little bit of blue, a little bit of like opalescent purple, but also a little bit of yellow in some places, which is interesting. And this is the mint sparkle. It became very see-through. It looks green in the package. It looks more like a Christmas green, but once you heat it up, it becomes almost clear. These wings are sugar plum, top and bottom, sugar plum, and then the sides here are watermelon. And then on my Fairy Ona that I showed you all before, hers were Forest Blaze, but they came out almost purple. Once you heat it, it comes purple. So just play with it, I guess. You know, we'll try and get some heat samples up online, but we do see that once, you know, the more you heat them, the more they change, and as you move them in the light, they change too. So.
And Myoma asks, could you lay 2 pieces of the Angelina film beside each other to make them wider?
I don't know. What we did, we were able to sort of glue and patch. So what you have to do, because maybe if you iron it, so if you were to iron it flat, but you will see the overlap. And we kind of played with the overlap. Like on these, we overlap to get more density, or we overlap to kind of cover the wire. So you can definitely adhere them to each other since it only adheres to itself, but I can't say that it would be seamless. You know, it's going to show, and then you could try and run it through like an embossing machine or use an iron, but you know, you have to have like iron it between wax paper or something. Don't put your iron on it.
Jenny asks, how brittle are the finished wings? Can they handle any bending, or should you be
Oh,
very careful?
I don't think they don't feel like glass. I mean, could you tear them? Maybe. They're pretty resistant. So, okay. So these wings are flat and we haven't really shaped them. Let's just do it. We haven't really shaped them. So we'll just kind of twist them a little bit. See? So we could kind of twist this one down and these ones in and, you know, maybe give that a little bit of a twist. So we're able to move them. They're not cracking. Not cracking.
And Linda asked, have we made any jewelry using the film?
I haven't. Totally new to me. Look, when I saw I could make fairy wings with this, I just jumped right on it. So you're in the early days of us playing with Angelita film. I haven't. I'll have to, you know, check out more explorations, but please share yours. If you guys do something outrageous, please don't wrap your cat. Whoever said that? Someone.
A car.
Car. Make her wings, him wings. Don't wrap your cat in it. Okay, I have one more thing I want to share. How are we doing on time, Ann? Good? Okay, good. So you guys want one more thing? Share one more thing? I want to share with you our fun springy flowers over here. Are we good? Can I move ahead? Okay. So firstly, this is Gloria, for those of you who have not met her before. She is our resident beauty queen. She has the hairdo that I think we all would like to have. And so Gloria is wearing our springy flowers for today. The person I want to thank for the flower inspiration for today is Mary Beth Colton. She's in New Jersey and she has Far and Away Alpaca Farm. Mary Beth shared with us a tutorial. Ann will share a link in a minute, not right now, but in a minute she'll share a link. She shared a tutorial for making these peonies. I don't know whether it was a year ago or 2 years ago. I say peony, but I've been told it's peony. So my Texas girl wants to say peony. These peonies, oh, mine's already coming apart. Mine's just pinned together. And I want to basically show you how we made these flowers today in the quick, because we don't have time to felt them together. But she shared how she made her peonies, and this is my super quick and easy one, and this is the one that's just a little more complex. Are we good? Okay. So this super quick and frilly flower, let me pull it off her hat, right here. You could play with this a lot and you could ruffle it up. It's so simple. Now I made this out of our fuchsia short fiber bat. You can use merino top, merino silk blends, pre-felt, whatever you want. Some people did our Christmas tree tutorial last year. This is the same process. All I did was felt circles. I felted circles and I let them be wonky, just like we did in the Christmas tree. I made 4 circles and I really just felted them to be like whatever roundness they came to. And then overnight I stacked them up and I beat them up. I kind of beat them up when I felted them. And then overnight I just kind of squished it up and shoved it like in a little glass. You can leave it, you can spray it, you can starch it, you can sew it, you can make, you know, little leaves for the bottom, you can make a stem, or you can just make it a boutonniere, you can make a whole bouquet. But the size of the circle I used, I brought, and I didn't bring it in this room. It's the size of your bucket. Wait, see, it should be in my basket. I'll show you what I used as a template. So this is a super easy one, and you can sew it together, and I didn't make the middle or anything, because it was literally just my homework last night to show you. Thank you, Mary Beth. I was very inspired remembering her peonies. So let me show you this one deconstructed. I'll take it apart. Do y'all like that? Can we give a heart for, before I move on, just a heart for Mary Beth, because it's this heart, this flower right here that inspired me the most. So I'm gonna take this one apart, but I'll show it to y'all up close first. Now, hers are better. First of all, I want to say hers are better, but here is my first attempt. And on the blog, you will see, in fact, I saw this morning that it's still the top of her Facebook page, these peonies. This bouquet was so gorgeous. And I'll tell you before I open this one up, this was made with our lily white pre-felt, cut into circles just like that. And then I just put the Sunset Bliss blend on top and on bottom, very thinly. I mean, we could do this together, like if we were to felt it together, easy in an hour, easy. This is the size I used. I'm gonna measure it for you. Hold, please. This is, oh look, this big thing. Okay, this is about a 6-inch, this is a 6-inch circle. I think our Christmas trees were varying sizes. So I did 4 6-inch circles. And I am not the peony expert, so I just cut mine looking at her picture the best I could. The base one, you leave, like I felted it round, and then you cut this shape out. Hers had 8 petals. It was much better. Hers had 8 petals, so maybe hers were bigger. Like maybe she did an 8-inch circle. I would try that next time. So this is the base. And then the second one was cut almost the same way, except I cut, I'll show you, a hole out. Cut a hole in the center. And then the next one, a hole in the center. Same, little bit bigger of a hole. You cut the petals out and then you kind of stretch them and crinkle them and squish them. And then this last layer is really long, sort of stretch it. And she said that these petals are longer. So you kind of stretch those up, and this is out. Can y'all see this? Can everyone see? Okay, so then you just kind of twist it, I'll go up here. Then you just kind of twist it around the stem. And she made, you know, the center of her flowers, and she made a whole bouquet. But you just start with the inside, and then what you could do, or what you probably would do, is sew it to keep its shape so that each layer stays in place.
And Kate Williams asks, did you felt the edges again after cutting them?
Absolutely. You bang them, you stretch them, you crinkle them, you throw it because you want them to have a lot of character. So you always want to felt those edges after you cut on almost any project. And so what I just did for today for Quickie, so I could deconstruct this and show you all, is I just pinned it in place. So you might play with that and see how you like the size or see how you like your structure. But look, I made these in an evening. So if you're looking for a quick gift, if you want to dress up your table, you know, for a holiday or a special event, if you want a hat, special flower on your hat this Sunday, if you want to give a little present, these were so fast. And I think that they look really elegant. What do you guys think?
Everyone's loving them. we have a couple requests for a felt-along.
Oh, you guys want to do this in a felt-along? Here's what I want to do. I thought about this last night. One, you all should know, and if you don't know, if you're new, you may not know, but I want you to know that I think you're brilliant. I know you're brilliant. You're incredibly creative. So what I wanted to do was kind of put out like this super flower challenge. Because once I made these, so here's the inners, and then I need to scooty the other one on the bottom. So I'm not going to do it because I barely pinned this together right now. But all I did was wrap those around and put them back together. I'm going to put out like a super flower challenge and say, make something, whether it's a sunflower or a bearded lady or an iris or a daisy or a picture or a 3D. If you feel inspired, like make a felted flower and post it. Maybe take 3-4 pictures of what you did, share it right here in the group. Remember to post to the wall, but show us your flower. I have some visions too. Like I wanted to just stay up all night making flowers for you all. So let's make it, I don't know, should we make it like for the first of May? We'll look at the date, whatever's the 1st of May. So we'll do a felt along. I'll try and do a felt along before then. I'll look at my calendar. But if you have a particular one you want to challenge me with, send me email. Send me an email to Marie@LivingFelt and tell me what you think we should do in the felt along together. I'll think of it too. I don't know if I'll pick yours or whatever. But I want to challenge you to make some flower. It can be big, it can be obnoxious, it can be fantasy, it can be realistic. And if you want to show us the steps, we'd love to learn. 2, I want to make more. And on that note, I'm going to answer one final question since I have a flower example. And that was from Vicki Ryan, if you're watching Vicki. Vicki said that she had a commission to do some small animals and they required a magnet on the back, and how do you accommodate for the magnet without ripping it on or potentially ripping it off. And I thought of our poinsettia. Poinsettia. I thought of our poinsettia, and what we did on ours is we actually wet felted a piece. So you could use commercial felt or felt that you make to match and just bury a magnet under there. So I made a circle from this and hand stitched it on with a really strong magnet underneath. I don't think I have anything middle. There we go. Stick it on my bucket. It's not Christmas, but there you go. So that's an idea anyway, is make a thin piece of felt with a very strong magnet underneath and get it to stick on there. Okay? Any final things?
Yes.
Oh,
We have
sorry.
a couple.
Couple of questions. Thanks for playing with us today, y'all. Hope it's springy wherever you are.
Laura Burke asks, could you needle felt the petals together?
You know, Laura, since it's so felted, they're not going to want to stick all that well. But, you know, they really won't. You're really going to be driving through a fabric that's well felted, but you can try and put some glue in the middle. So I have done it where, like our tutorial, we have a kit for a multi-layered flower that's not like this. You actually felt all the layers together. And when I first did it, I wasn't quite able to get them to stick. So what I did is I made this center part of the flower. I don't know my flower anatomy. Someone's going to tell me what that's called. And I did needle felt all the way through, but just put some fiber in the layers so that you can get them all, you can get it to staple down when you needle felt it. So yes. Or you can sew it. You can sew the layers together.
And Kate wants to see a close-up of the hearts, the heart flowers.
Oh, I wanted to show this today, so maybe I'll show them next time. My husband said to bring them back home. They're his. So this was a little project that I wanted to show you how to do today, but the segment just grew and grew as we, responded to the questions you posted. So this is just sort of a pin cushion, if you will. It's just stuffed on, look, these are its roots on the bottom, barely done. And then I needle felted the top. I felted over the stems and, stuck the hearts on. Super fun project, and it brightens up my kitchen windowsill and,
Last question.
Okay.
This was asked earlier in the broadcast about the yak roving.
Yes.
Lynn wants to know, could you use the yak roving as hair for a doll?
Oh, okay. So where is let me grab that. Okay, so we're going to swing back and answer one question from earlier in the broadcast, and that is, can this yak roving be used as a hair on a doll? I have used it, and my little doll that I have used it on is not here, but I want to tell you that this is a very fine micron. It's 19 micron approximately, so it's going to feel like cashmere, and that also means that it'll really get matted down. It'll be easily matted down, but also look how long it is. That's the staple length right there. Like, that's the whole of it. And so whatever you're felting with it, whether you're wet felting or needle felting, it's so short that if you want it for anything other than a very short guy's hair, short hair on a guy or a gal, it may not work because it'll just pull apart. Okay, I think that's it. Y'all, now it's time for us to give away presents. Thank you for playing with us. Come on in, the fairies are back. We love to give away presents always at the end of every show. And so everybody who has contributed to the conversation, asked questions, maybe put up a bright idea, and has been feverishly writing your name down, and it's all gone in to her magic little bucket. Look, it's the bucket in Massey. They've been so great. See, they don't even know this exists. Okay, so we're going to draw a name. We're going to draw a few names today, right? Okay.
And then you go first.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to heart everybody. Thanks for playing. Big hearts from all of us. There we go.
Our first winner is Kelly Hoople.
Yay, Kelly! Congratulations.
Kelly, you win 2 of our Angelina films and 1 packet of the Angelina fiber and the dun da da da.
Yay!
You can email your color choices for the Angelina to customer service at livingfelt.com.
Cool. Congratulations,
Yay.
Kelly. Yay. Okay,
Nina?
you girls pick.
There you go. Oh, who did I draw? Alrighty, we got Diane Dinsmore.
Yay! Diana, congratulations.
Diana, you win our Bunnies of Poppy Hollow kit.
Yay! There's still time to make bunnies. Super fun. It's been so fun seeing all the bunnies pop up on the list. Super cool, super cool. Okay. Hang on, pick. Oh, I didn't hear the phone.
We have Debbie Penley.
Yay! Congratulations.
Debbie, you win our needle felting Monarch kit.
All right.
Super fun. Perfect for spring. That's one of my favorite projects I ever did. It's so soothing and mellow. Nice. You guys, thanks so much for playing with us today. We wish you great success in cleaning your fiber studio and reorganizing your stash. Let us know how we can help. And as always, we wish you a great day. Be good to yourself.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank you.